They called him too young, too bold. But Ibrahim Traoré did what no African leader dared. He kicked out the French army from Burkina Faso. No deals, no warnings, just a clear message. Africa is not your playground anymore. This is how one man embarrassed France and woke up a whole continent. Let's go back to the beginning. Burkina Faso, a country in West Africa, was once called Upper Volta. It got its independence from France in 1960. But like many African countries, France never really left. They kept their hands in the politics, the economy, and especially the military. French soldiers were always present, supposedly to help fight terrorism. But if you ask the people living there, many will tell you, things only got worse. For years, Burkina Faso struggled with violence. Armed groups, some linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS, attacked villages, burned schools, and killed innocent people. The north and east of the country became no-go zones. By 2022, almost half the country was under threat, and more than 2 million people had to leave their homes. The government said they needed help, and France was always there, promising to save the day. But the people saw something else. They saw French soldiers in their streets, but their lives weren't getting any safer. They heard promises, but saw no results. Some even accused France of playing both sides, fighting terrorists with one hand and making deals with them on the other, just to keep control. Then came Ibrahim Traoré. He was just 34 years old, a captain in the army. In September 2022, he led a coup that overthrew the military leader who had taken power just months before. People were shocked. Who was this young man? What did he want? Traoré went on TV and spoke directly to the people. He said the old leaders had failed. He said Burkina Faso was at war and that the country needed real change. He promised to fight corruption, to protect the people, and to take back control from foreign powers. Many people didn't believe him at first. They had seen so many leaders come and go, each one making promises and then forgetting them. But Traoré was different. He didn't just talk, he acted. Within days, he accused France of protecting the old president, Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, who had fled to a French military base after the coup. Traoré's supporters stormed the French embassy in Ouagadougou, the capital, shouting for France to leave. They threw stones, burned tires, and waved Burkina Faso flags. The message was clear. France was no longer welcome. Traoré didn't stop there. He banned Radio France Internationale, a French radio station, from broadcasting in Burkina Faso. He said they were spreading lies and supporting the terrorists. He told the French ambassador to leave the country. He even accused France of trying to divide Burkina Faso and keep it weak. Then in January 2023, Traoré made his boldest move yet. He gave France 1 month to remove all its troops from Burkina Faso. No more military bases, no more foreign soldiers. The French government was shocked. They tried to negotiate, to persuade Traoré to change his mind, but he refused. He said, "We want our independence. We want to defend ourselves. We don't need foreign armies controlling our country." The French soldiers started packing up. For the first time in decades, Burkina Faso was free of foreign military presence. The people celebrated in the streets. They danced, they sang, they waved flags. For many, it felt like a second independence. But Traoré knew that kicking out the French was just the beginning. The terrorists were still there, and the country was still in danger. So he launched a massive campaign to recruit new soldiers. He called for young men and women to join the volunteers for the defense of the homeland, a civilian force to help the army. Tens of thousands answered the call. They trained, they armed themselves, and they prepared to defend their villages. Traoré also looked for new partners. He reached out to Russia, Turkey, and other countries for weapons and support. He said, "We will not be anyone's puppet. We will choose our own friends." Some people worried that he was just replacing one foreign power with another, but Traoré insisted that Burkina Faso would make its own decisions. France was angry. They accused Traoré of being ungrateful, of turning his back on an old ally. They warned that Burkina Faso would become isolated, that the terrorists would win. But Traoré didn't care. He said, "We have tried your way for years. It didn't work. Now we will try our way." Other African countries watched closely. In Mali, the military government had already kicked out the French. In Niger, people began to protest against the French presence. Across West Africa, young people saw Traoré as a hero. They shared his speeches on social media. They called him the Lion of Burkina Faso. Traoré went even further. He accused France of working with neighboring countries to destabilize Burkina Faso. He said he had proof that French agents were helping armed groups attack his country. France denied everything, but Traoré didn't back down. He expelled French diplomats, closed the French embassy, and cut all military ties. He told the world, Africa must wake up. We must fight for our own happiness. We must end imperialism and free our minds. His words spread like wildfire. In universities, in markets, in villages, people talked about Traoré. They said, if he can do it, why can't we? But it wasn't easy. The violence didn't stop overnight. The terrorists kept attacking. The economy was still weak. Some people worried that Traoré was taking too many risks. Others feared that the new alliances with Russia and Turkey would bring new problems. Traoré faced criticism at home and abroad. Some called him a dictator. Others said he was too young, too inexperienced. But he kept going. He said, I am not here to be popular. I am here to save my country. He made tough decisions. He reformed the army, fired corrupt officers, and sent troops to the front lines. He visited villages that had been attacked, listened to the people, and promised to protect them. He said, we will not abandon you. We are all Burkinabe. We will fight together. He also tried to unite the country. He reached out to different ethnic groups, to religious leaders, to civil society. He said, we must stand together. If we are divided, we will fail. If we are united, we will win. Slowly, things began to change. The army started to win back territory. Some refugees returned home. The people felt a new sense of hope. They said, for the first time, we have a leader who listens to us. But the fight was far from over. Traoré knew that Burkina Faso still faced many challenges. The terrorists were still strong. The economy was still fragile. The country needed schools, hospitals, roads. He said, we must build our own future. No one will do it for us. He called on young people to work hard, to study, to believe in themselves. He said, Africa is not poor. We have gold, we have land, we have people. What we need is courage and unity. His message spread across Africa. In Senegal, in Ivory Coast, in Chad, young people began to question the old ways. They asked, why do we still depend on our former colonizers? Why can't we stand on our own? Traoré became a symbol of a new Africa, proud, independent, and ready to fight for its place in the world. He showed that even a young captain with no big army or rich friends could change history. Today, the French army is gone from Burkina Faso. The country is still struggling, but it is doing so on its own terms. Traoré's bold move inspired a generation. He showed that real independence is not just about flags and anthems. It's about having the courage to say no, to take risks, and to believe in your people. This is not just the story of one man. It's the story of a continent waking up, saying enough is enough. And it all started when Ibrahim Traoré kicked France out of Burkina Faso. So next time you hear someone say that one person can't make a difference, remember the story of Ibrahim Traoré. Remember how a young captain, against all odds, stood up to a world power and changed the course of history. And maybe, just maybe, you'll believe that you can make a difference too.